There's something about the outdoors, something people don't like to admit. We romanticize it. The silence, the stars, the way the world feels untouched. But silence isn't empty. It listens, and sometimes it listens back. Have you ever been camping far from everything and suddenly felt like you weren't alone anymore? Not animals, not other campers, something else, something watching but never quite seen. Tonight I'm going to tell you 6 stories, real experiences, confessions, the kind people hesitate to share out loud. And as you listen, I want you to ask yourself something. If you heard footsteps outside your tent, but they didn't match any human rhythm, would you look, or would you pretend you didn't hear it? Let's begin. I need you to picture this clearly. Not just imagine it, feel it. A forest in the UK, not wild, not untouched, just old. The kind of place with walking paths, wooden signs, history plaques no one reads anymore. The kind of place people trust. Have you ever been somewhere that feels safe because it's supposed to be? That's what makes this worse. I grew up near it. My mom used to take me there when I was a kid. Sunday walks, packed sandwiches, that sort of thing. And there's something I remember, something I didn't question at the time. There was always a woman, not walking with anyone, not hiking, just there, standing off the path, sometimes between trees, sometimes near the benches, always at a distance. I must have been 7 or 8 when I first noticed her. I remember asking my mom, "Who's that lady?" And she said something like, "Oh, probably just someone enjoying the quiet." Normal answer. Comforting. Dismissive. But here's the thing. The next time we went, she was there again. Same place, same posture, same distance, and she didn't move. Now let me ask you, when you were a kid, did you ever notice something, but let it go because the adults didn't react? That's what I did. I ignored it, filed it away as nothing. Years passed, I grew up, stopped going there, life moved on. Until about 2 years ago, I was visiting home, decided to go for a walk, clear my head. And without really thinking about it, I ended up back in that forest. It hadn't changed much. Same paths, same signs, same quiet. And then I saw her, standing in the same place. My first thought was ridiculous. It can't be the same person, but something in my chest tightened anyway, because she looked exactly the same. Same clothes, neutral colored coat, hair down, unmoving, head slightly tilted, and she was facing me. Not directly, not fully, but enough. You ever feel like someone's watching you but pretending not to? I tried to brush it off, kept walking, told myself it was coincidence. Different person, same spot, that's all. But as I moved down the path, I realized something. She was still there, not behind me, not in the distance, to my left, further ahead, in a place she couldn't have reached without passing me. I stopped walking, slowly turned my head, and there she was, closer now. Not much, but enough to notice something new. Her face, or rather, the lack of movement in it. No blinking, no shifting, no expression, just fixed, like a photograph placed into the world. I felt it then, that same feeling from when I was a kid, but stronger, heavier, like I wasn't remembering her, like she was remembering me. I turned and walked faster, not running, not yet, just enough to create distance. And then I heard footsteps, soft, measured, behind me, matching my pace. I didn't turn around, not immediately, because I didn't want to confirm it, but you know how curiosity works. It builds, it scratches at you, until you give in. So I looked, and she was there. Closer again, still walking, but not like a normal person. Her movements were off, too smooth, too consistent, like she wasn't adjusting to the ground beneath her, just gliding forward in perfect rhythm. And her face, still that same expression, unchanging. But her eyes were locked on me now, fully. No pretending, no distance, just watching. And I realized something that made my stomach drop. I couldn't remember seeing her arrive, not as a kid, not now. She was just always there. Let me ask you this. If someone exists in a place but you've never seen them come or go, what does that make them? I started walking faster, then faster. Then I was basically speed walking down the trail. The footsteps behind me didn't change. Same pace, same distance. Like no matter how fast I moved, she adjusted to keep it consistent. And then she spoke. Not loudly, not clearly, but enough. You left. I froze. Because that voice, it didn't come from behind me. It came from everywhere. Between the trees, from the ground, from the air itself. You left me here, I turned fully this time, and she was right there, closer than she should have been, just a few steps away. And now, her face had changed. Not much. Her smile, it wasn't wide, not exaggerated, just wrong, like someone trying to remember how to smile, but getting it slightly off. "Why did you leave?" I ran. No hesitation, no looking back, just ran. And the worst part? I could hear her moving behind me. Not walking anymore, running, but the sound, it wasn't footsteps, it was something else, something uneven, like limbs hitting the ground in the wrong order. I didn't stop until I reached the car park. Other people were there, normal people, talking, laughing. And just like that, the feeling vanished. I turned around, the path was empty, no woman, no movement, nothing. I told myself it was over, that I was safe, that whatever that was, it stayed in the forest. But I was wrong, because later that night, I found something on my phone, a photo, one I didn't take, time-stamped from earlier that day, taken from behind me, on that trail. And in the distance, between the trees, she was there, standing, closer than I ever saw her in person, smiling that same wrong smile. And at the bottom of the image, there was a reflection, faint, barely visible, but unmistakable. The person holding the camera wasn't me. So I need you to think about this. If something has always been there, watching, waiting, learning you, and you leave, grow up, forget it. What happens when you come back? Does it recognize you? Or worse, does it feel abandoned? We're getting closer now, closer to something that doesn't stay in the woods and doesn't wait to be noticed. I'm going to tell you this as plainly as I can, because if I try to dress it up, if I try to make it sound like a story, you won't understand how wrong it felt. Have you ever seen someone you know and instantly felt like something about them isn't right? Not physically, not obviously, just off. This is about my friend Callum. We'd known each other since college, same humor, same habits, same everything. One of those people you don't have to think around. He went on a solo camping trip. That wasn't unusual. Callum liked being alone, said it helped him reset. 3 days. That's all it was supposed to be. But he came back early. I remember the first thing I noticed. It wasn't what he said, it was how he stood, too still, like his body had forgotten the small movements people make without thinking. "You're back already?" I asked. He smiled. But it came late, like he had to decide to do it first. "Yeah," he said. "Didn't like it out there." That alone should have been enough. Callum loved the outdoors, rain, cold, didn't matter, he thrived in it. But I didn't push. Not then. Let me ask you something. If someone changes suddenly, do you confront it, or do you wait, hoping it explains itself? I waited. The next few days were strange. He still came around, still sat with us, still joined conversations, but there were gaps, moments where he'd just stop, mid-sentence, mid-laugh, and stare, not at anything. Just forward. The first time it happened, we joked about it. "Bro, you buffering or what?" He laughed. A second too late. Then it happened again, and again, each time lasting longer. And every time, when he came back, he looked confused, like he wasn't sure where he was or who he was with. One night, it got worse. We were at my place, just the two of us, watching something on TV. Halfway through, he paused it, just hit pause, didn't say anything. Then he turned to me and said, "Do you ever feel like you're not alone, even when you are?" I shrugged it off. Everyone feels that sometimes. He shook his head, slowly. "No, I mean like," he hesitated, "like something came back with you. That hit different." I laughed it off anyway, because what else do you do? But then he said something I can't explain. "I don't think I left alone." Silence. Real silence. Not the comfortable, the kind that presses on your ears. I asked him what he meant. He didn't answer. Just stared at the TV screen. But his reflection was smiling, wider than he was. I noticed it before I could stop myself. And when I looked back at him, his face hadn't changed. Let me ask you this. If you saw something like that, would you say something? Because I didn't. I told myself it was lighting, angles, my imagination. That night, he stayed over, slept on the couch, or at least I thought he did. Around 3 a.m. I woke up, no reason, just that feeling. You know the one, like something's wrong. I sat up, listened, and then I heard it. Footsteps, slow, coming from the hallway. I assumed it was Callum, maybe getting water, but something about the sound, it dragged. Not like normal walking, like one foot didn't quite lift properly. I got up, walked toward the hallway, and that's when I saw him, standing at the end of it, back turned to me, completely still. "Callum?" I said. No response. I took a step closer, and that's when he spoke, but not to me. "You can't stay here." A pause. Then, "He'll notice." My stomach dropped. "Who are you talking to?" I asked. Slowly, he turned around, and I swear to you, for just a second, his face didn't match. Like it lagged, like something underneath it shifted before settling into place. Then he smiled. Normal, too normal. "Just talking in my sleep," he said, but he wasn't asleep. He was looking right at me. The next morning, he left early, didn't say much, and for a few days, everything went quiet. No messages, no calls. Then he texted me, just one sentence. "Do you ever hear breathing when you're alone?" I didn't reply. I didn't want to, because I had, that same night, soft, right behind me. But every time I turned, nothing. A week later, Callum was gone. Not missing, not officially, just gone. No one could reach him. Family, friends, no trace, like he just stepped out of his life. But here's the part I haven't told anyone. The reason I know he didn't leave alone. Last night, I got a message from his number. No text, just an audio file, 10 seconds long. I listened to it once, and that was enough. It started with silence, then breathing, slow, uneven. Then Callum's voice whispering, "I'm still here." And underneath it, another voice, same tone, same pitch, speaking at the same time, "So am I." So I need you to ask yourself something. If someone comes back, but something else comes with them, how long before there's more of it than there is of them? And when they disappear, did they leave, or were they finally replaced? We're almost there now, and the next one takes away the last layer of safety, because tents are supposed to protect you. A thin barrier, but still a barrier, until something proves it doesn't matter. So before you turn this off, before the room goes quiet again, I want you to sit with something for a moment. Tonight, you heard 6 stories. Different people, different places, different experiences, but the details didn't change. The whistle, the voice that isn't quite right, the thing that watches before it moves, the feeling that something followed you instead of staying where it belongs. That's not coincidence, that's a pattern. And patterns mean intent. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been somewhere quiet and felt like the silence was waiting? Not empty, not peaceful, waiting. Because that's where it starts. Not with fear, not with danger, just attention, something noticing you. And once it does, it doesn't forget. So if you ever find yourself out there, in the woods in a place where the sounds suddenly stop and you hear a whistle, don't answer it. If something calls your name and you're absolutely sure no one's there, don't turn around. And if you ever feel like you're not alone, even when you know you should be, trust that feeling. Because ignoring it might be the moment it needs. Next time, we go further. Not just into the forest, but into what comes back with you. And what happens when it doesn't just watch anymore, it learns. Sleep carefully tonight.
You've been listening to Mr. Haunting Whispers, where every truth leaves a scar. If the story unsettled you, good. That means you were listening. Subscribe and stay close to the dark, because the next whisper might be for you.